Hey guys, good now, folks. I hope you're doing well. This is Lucas from Whenever MTG, and once again, I bring you another content video. Today, we're doing a top 10 cards from Final Fantasy for Pauper. Final Fantasy released a lot of common cards. I could list 20 or 30 of them that could see some play, but of course, not all of them will actually see play in Pauper. Today I'm here to bring you 10 cards that I truly believe will see some play. Maybe, one or two copies in each deck, or some of them even four copies. Some of these cards will, let's say, renew decks, or even, bring life to totally new decks. Stay tuned. I hope you stay into the end. Let's talk about it. First in the list, so our 10th card is Resentful Revelation, which is a 2-mana sorcery, one colorless, one black. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. So usually we can see that effect. And it has flashback for 7 mana. Usually we can see that effect in blue colors. There are tons of instants and sorceries with the same effect. You kind of look at the 3 or the top 4 card of your library, select one of them, and the rest goes into your graveyard or into the bottom of your library. So it's nice to have that effect for black. I believe this card could see some play in Dredge. Maybe 1 or 2 copies. You get to select what you want from the top and just throw the rest into the bin. Maybe 1 or 2 copies in Blue-Black Terror. Dimir Terror. I believe this card could see some play. It's always nice to have some selection and, still mill 2 cards. I think this one has potential. The next one is, I'm going to butcher this, Q-Trub Fourier, I guess. It's a 3-mana creature, 2 colors, 1 black, for 3/2 zombie horror. And it has, when this creature enters, you choose 1. Destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn, or exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. But Lucas, we've seen this type of effect many times before, and it has never seen play before. Well, I've been doing some research, and most of the creatures with the effect of destroying a creature that was dealt damage this turn, they are 4 mana, like 2/2, or 4 mana 2/3. So it's not quite decent. And I believe this is the first time we're seeing a 3/2 body on its own that has that type of effect. On top of, being able to exile something from 2 cards from a graveyard, it has 2 decent effects. So even though you won't be playing this card on its own, meaning you have to somehow deal damage to destroy a creature, or, you have to have some optimal graveyard targets to do something. I could see this card being played, and I will personally test it in Oars of Blade. Yes, most of the time, what I struggle most against is John Wildfire or decks with Chrysalis, In Oars of Blade, all of our creatures are 1/2 or 2/2, 2/3, some flyers, They can't get past Chrysalis. Usually, Tithing Blade doesn't kill Chrysalis because they have a lot of tokens. So this card will allow us to trade Trobins or even, some Glinthawks for Chrysalis, while still maintaining a 3/2 body onto the battlefield, which is decent. And let's not forget the Graveyard Hate in it. We can still exile creatures that keeps coming back, like Sneaky Snacker, or delay a terror by exiling 2 instants or sorceries. exiling cards with flashback. So it's still decent. And even if you don't do any of those effects, it's a 3/2. It's a decent body for that amount of mana. So I think it has potential. I will be testing it, and you can check out in my gameplay videos. Next on the list, we have Precious Wanderings. It's an instant for 2 colorless and 1 green. You search a library for a basic land card or town card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. When you search your library this way, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So, Lucas, a ramp for 3 mana, is that even decent? It is, and let me tell you why. First, it's an instant, so you can do that on your opponent's end step or on their combat step and correct all your mana base so this collection, Final Fantasy, brought all 10 dual lands in, as common cards. Therefore, you can search for any of those and put it onto the battlefield. So you're gonna ramp a dual land most of the time, I guess. And still, you can put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control, and that will help you win combats or trade evenly, or even saving a creature from a specific removal. Let's say, you're saving a 3 toughness creature of a lightning bolt, for instance. So it has 2 decent effects. And the fact that you get to ramp on your opponent's end step is quite good in my opinion, especially because we can get dual lands and totally, correct our mana base. So I think this is worth it. It will probably see some play, especially because Final Fantasy, the collection, brought all 10 dual lands as town cards. And all of them are common, so have fun, kids. Next on the list, we have Supplex. It's a sorcery for 1 colorless and 1 red mana. It's basically an abrade. It deals 3 damage to a creature it deals 3 damage to a creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Or exile target artifact. So it's basically a braid, but sorcery speed. But instead of destroying, you're gonna exile such targets. So a braid doesn't destroy, doesn't exile, doesn't deal with dual indestructible artifact lands. This one does. A braid doesn't exile the creature it is dealing damage to. This one does. For creatures, besides Sneaky Snacker, I don't see many targets being that problematic. I mean, for some creatures, you will want them to be exiled, especially Sneaky Snacker, but I don't see any other creatures being that problematic. So this card could be your, let's say, alternative to a braid or even Cast into the Fire, but I still believe Cast into the Fire will continue to be better, I believe. Mostly because it's an instant, so you get to surprise your opponent a lot. But, this one deal with dual artifact indestructible lands. So if you're struggling against Jund Wildfire, Grixis Affinity, or artifact land-based decks, this one might help you better. If you're not dealing with those things, Cast into the Fire all the way. But, it's nice to have an alternative and being able to switch accordingly to your meta. So I still believe this card will be good. Okay, in 6th place, we have Lunatic Pandora. That's a 1 mana legendary artifact. So we have never seen anything like that in Pauper before. A legendary artifact. So it has 2 activated abilities. For 2 colorless and a tap, you surveil 1, which is pretty decent. You get to, correct the top of your deck deck by, surveilling. You can do that on your maintenance or during your opponent's end step, which allows you to have better draws. Or bin, specific cards. Let's say Momentous Peace. You can mill that because you can replay it from your graveyard. So it's kind of value by milling it. So yeah, worth it. And on top of that, we have another effect. For 6 mana, you sacrifice this artifact and destroy target non-land permanent. So that allows Tron to be, to be able to deal with any permanent they like, besides lands, of course. But, it's a nice addition. I believe 1 or 2 copies could be good in Tron. That will give them some, top correcting ability and a very good, a decent removal spell. Okay. Moving on, we have one of my favorites, Sabotender. For 1 colorless and 1 red, you have a 2/1 reach creature with a landfall ability. Whenever a land you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. So, I believe this card opens the horizons for landfall decks. We haven't seen any like landfall based deck recently, and I believe this card could be the beginning of something like that. And besides, and on top of that, for those of you who have been following the channel, I play a deck called Jund Deserts, which will absolutely love this card. Yeah, 4 Ravens, 4 Sabotenders, 4 Chrysalis. Good luck, opponent, because you're going to get annoyed. So, yeah, I really like this card. Even outside of the Deserts deck, I still believe this has potential to, bring landfall decks to light by enabling, landfall abilities to shine again. It deals 1 damage per land, sure, but if you have 2 of those creatures, 3 of those effects, it keeps scaling and it keeps getting scarier and scarier, believe me. Anyway, moving on, we have Cornered by Black Mages. It's a sorcery for 2 black and 1 colorless. Target opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice, and you create a 0/1 Black Wizard creature token. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. But Lucas, it's a 3 mana sacrifice effect. It's not that good. Well, it wouldn't be if it weren't for the token. Okay? So look at this. We have a 2-for-1 effect right there. You make your opponent lose a creature, and you create 1. So to me, that's a 2-for-1. They're going to sack a creature. You're going to get a Black Wizard that keeps pinging your opponent for 1 every time you cast a non-creature spell. And let's say you do that twice. You play multiples of Cornered by Black Mages or the Black Mages Rod, which is in this list. That will give you some pinging ability for, control decks like the old Golgari Gardens. I believe they could, come back to light after the printing of this card. So the problem about Golgari Gardens is that they would control the game for like 50 minutes and not kill you. And with this card, they will be doing the same thing, but pinging you all the way, which allows them to actually close the game faster. So I believe this could be a great addition to that deck, or even, to Mono Black Burn. Yes. With the Black Rod. In this one, we have 8 cast sig effects. Pinging 1 every time you cast a non-creature. So yeah, watch out. I believe this card will see play. Next on the list we have Magitech Infantry, which is a white mana, 1/1 creature. This creature gets +1/+0 as long as you control another artifact. So, in many cases, we will be building around artifacts, artifact lands, or other artifacts. So most of the time, this will be a 1 mana 2/1 creature, which is for Pauper a great stats. And it has a menacing ability for 2 colorless and 1 white. You're going to search your library for another card named Magitech Infantry, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. So in a way, this card resembles Squadron Hawk, but you don't need to have them in your hand. You can search them directly from your library. And, it's a nice menacing ability. If you're not doing anything, you can just get another one of these. Thin your deck and, get a creature. So in a way, this is by itself, it has the potential to be a 4-for-1 card. So yeah, I think this one's amazing for artifact builds. I personally will be testing it on... I will be testing it in my Boros Synthesizer deck. I believe it's a great fit. Boros Synthesizer basically plays like 7 to 8 Thrabins, 4 core Skyfisher, 4 Glint Hawks, 2 or 3 Seekers of the Way. And, the creature clock isn't that great. And I believe this one will enhance it. It deals more damage than Trabins. It replenishes itself. It replenishes itself. And yeah, I think it's a great addition. It's another artifact for the deck. So it's great for, ending the game with munitions or counting towards your Galvanic Blast. Yeah, I see a lot of potential for this card. Next one, we have the infamous Black Mage's Rod, which I talked about earlier. It's an artifact for 1 colorless, 1 black. It's an equipment with a new ability called Job Select. When this equipment enters, you create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token, then attach this to it. So basically, it's going to be a 2 mana for a 2/1 creature. Oh, sorry, I forgot to read the rest of the card. So the equipped creature gets +1/+0, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent, and is a wizard in addition to its other types. Has equip 3. So yeah, you're going to cast it, you're going to get a token. It's going to be a 2/1 Kessig that, whenever you cast a non-creature, it deals 1 to each opponent. Therefore, it's going to be a great addition for Mono Black Burn, as I mentioned, Golgari Gardens, or even Orzhov Blade and Orzhov Blade or Mardu Synthesizer. I love Mardu Synthesizer. I think it's an awesome deck, but they do lack a finishing ability. And I believe this card will be just great because it's going to create a casting effect for you. And even if the creature dies, you can still replay them. You can still replay this artifact, generating another token, By replaying, I mean, getting it back with Glint Hawk or Core Skyfisher. So it will be nice to have that pinging ability for a deck that usually struggles to finish off the game. So I do believe this one will see play, especially in Mardu Synthesizer or Mono Black Burn. But it could easily be a win con for Golgari Gardens as well. And last but not least, at the top of our list, we have Summon Shoko Mug. For this card has many words in it. It's an enchantment creature saga for 2 colorless and 1 white. When you play it, it's a 3/3 creature. Okay, it's an enchantment creature, and it has the saga subtype. So after your draw step, so during your first main step, main phase, you're going to be putting a lore counter on it, triggering its ability, Stampede. Other creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. You're going to do that 4 times, and after you add the 4th lore counter to it, you're going to sacrifice it. So it's a creature with a death sentence. Like, it's going to die in 4 turns. But you will get that effect for 4 turns. Like, when you play it, all your creatures get +1/+0. The next turn, the same. The next turn, the same. And the 4th one, the same. But it will die. But still, it will be able to attack twice. When you play it, it doesn't have haste, so it won't attack. But the next 2 turns, you will be able to attack with a 3/3 creature, and while still pumping all of your creatures, the other creatures. So I do believe this card has a lot of potential in White Weenie, and maybe in some other white black or white red, white green aggro decks. I personally think that it will be great for White Weenie. I've been testing it. If you have been watching my gameplay videos, you can see that the bird showed up a few times already. Well, how can I put this? So for White Weenie, we already have Guardian's Pledge, the 3 mana instant that pumps +2/+2 to all of our creatures. This card kind of has the same effect in a way. It gives all your guys +1/+0 instead of +2/+2, but it is also a creature. So in a top deck mode, this card is way better than Guardian's Pledge. When you have 2 to 3 creatures, it's not optimal to play Guardian's Pledge yet, but you could play this one. It's going to help you trade better in the early game. It's going to help you push some damage in the mid to late game. So all in all, I do believe this card is better than Guardian's Pledge. Just because it is a creature, it can still attack in the following 2 turns. Yeah. And one trick, guys, you can bounce it with Core Skyfisher and replay it and have the same effect for the following 4 turns. So all in all, I believe this is the best Pauper card. It will breathe some fresh air for White Weenie decks. Yeah, that's my personal favorite. I wouldn't say it replaces Guardian Pledge, but I believe we could see 3 of those, 3 of Summon Shokamog, and 2 Guardian's Pledge, or 2 and 2 being played, even 3 and 3. Depends on your build. Depends on what you're aiming for. But yeah, this is, in my opinion, the best card for Pauper. It will, breathe some fresh air for White Weenie. Anyway, the video is getting quite long. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. And I guess I'll see you next time. Bye.